Hi, I'm Andy LeGrand. Welcome to our program. Today we'll be picking up some hands-on experience. Hand and power tools are a necessity on any work site. Armed with the right tools, we're more productive and more efficient. However, hand and power tools can also be dangerous. When used incorrectly, they can do a lot of damage in a short period of time. We need to work with these tools safely, on the job and at home. Start with a safety plan. Assemble all the tools and materials you'll need before you begin a job. Have appropriate personal protective equipment on hand as well. Remember to choose tools and equipment that are designed for the job you're going to do. Accept no substitutes. They're too dangerous and can quickly lead to an accident or a damaged tool. Make sure you know how to use everything you've collected. Examine your work area for general hazards. Remove anything that might cause trouble. And finally, stay alert. Don't let distractions get the better of you. Step back for a minute if you become fatigued or irritated. Cutting tools are dangerous. They slice through materials and fingers with alarming ease. Knives, for example, cause more injuries than any other hand tool. Following a few simple rules will help prevent painful accidents. Make sure your cutting tools are in good condition. Dangerous slips can occur when blades aren't kept sharp because extra force must be applied for them to do the job. Inspect each blade to make sure it's securely attached. Use knives with retractable blades whenever possible. Don't use a knife as a screwdriver or a paint can opener. This kind of abuse will weaken the blade and eventually cause it to shatter. When you're cutting, keep the edge pointed away from your body in case the blade slips. Once you've finished with a knife, put it safely away. If at all possible, store it away from other tools. The materials you work with are often as sharp as your cutting tools. Heavy wire, for instance, should never be clipped at an angle. Diagonals are dangerous. They make it easy for wire to cut through protective gloves and your skin. Don't forget eye protection. Use it wherever small particles are thrown off. You never know where snipped bits of wire are headed. Hammers, chisels, and punches are involved in numerous mishaps every year. Many of these accidents occur when particles fly up at unprotected eyes. You should wear safety glasses or goggles whenever you're working with striking tools. Choosing the right hammer for the job will help eliminate problems. After all, hammers are designed with specific purposes in mind. Nail hammers, for instance, work well for jobs involving unhardened nails, from carpentry to hanging pictures around the house. Before hammering in a nail, tap lightly to seat it. Once the nail is in place, remove your fingers from the striking zone. Only then should you hammer with full force. Nail hammers are not designed for metalworking applications. Their edges are sharp. If you were to use one to strike the head of a chisel, the force could shear off dangerous bits of metal. If you're working with chisels and punches or driving masonry nails, a ball peen hammer is what you'll need. Any shearing action from glancing blows is reduced by the rounded edges of the hammer's striking zone. For best results, pick out a hammer with a head larger than the chisel head. This will reduce the chances of striking a glancing blow. Even when the danger is lessened, flying particles remain a serious hazard. Wear your safety glasses. We need to keep our tools in tip-top shape. Don't forget to fix the ones that are in need of repair. Using a mushroom-headed chisel, for example, can lead to a nasty eye injury. Grind the edges of the head to make it safe again. Remember to keep the cutting edge sharp, too. Tools with dull edges can slip, increasing the chances of a mishap. Pay attention to the handles of your striking tools. See that they're fastened securely to the heads. Make sure that the handles themselves are undamaged. Screwdrivers, wrenches, and pliers are used for many jobs requiring both careful positioning and the use of force. Take it easy. The demands placed on these tools often lead to problems. Avoid slipping accidents by keeping the blade of the screwdriver tight within the groove of the screw. The blade should be neither too large for the groove nor too small. Choosing the right-sized blade will keep your screwdrivers and your fingers in good shape. Being in a hurry often leads to accidents. Never tighten a screw with one hand while holding the work with the other. It's too easy for something to slip. Instead, take your time. Lay your materials out on a flat surface or use a vise. Failing to start a screw correctly can also cause problems. Use a nail punch, awl, or drill to seat screws safely. Slips can occur when wrenches and pliers are used improperly. Getting the tightest fit possible will help you work safely. For small jobs, adjustable wrenches will do the trick. Watch out, though. When things get too tough for them, they have a tendency to slip. This can damage equipment or throw you off balance. Box and socket wrenches are better choices when a lot of force is required. These wrenches surround bolt heads and greatly reduce the chances of a slipping accident. Be sure wrenches are properly seated before applying pressure. Position your body for optimum balance. Pull the wrench toward you. Don't push or lean into a wrench. If it slips, you could be sent flying. Extender bars that increase your leverage are hazardous. Wrench handles aren't designed for this kind of pressure and may bend or break unexpectedly. Never resort to banging on a wrench handle to free up a stubborn bolt. Most wrenches are not designed to take this kind of beating. In addition, your hammer may strike a glancing blow, crashing into machinery or your other hand. With power tools at our command, we're stronger, more efficient. We need to be careful, though. These tools are even more dangerous than regular hand tools. They cause 250,000 hand injuries alone every year. The circular saw is familiar to most work sites. Follow the manufacturer's instructions to set the standard cutting depth. Be sure to use 2 wrenches when you're tightening the blade. And watch out for kickback. Kickback takes place when the motion of the blade is transferred to the wood or back to the tool itself. This force can jerk the saw further into the wood or cause it to lurch toward you. Protect yourself. Place both hands firmly on the saw. This will keep it from bucking and keep your second hand out of the blade's path. Kickback can also be overcome by maintaining a sharp blade, securely clamping down all materials, and by waiting for the saw to reach full speed before cutting. Drills can also produce kickback. The spinning motion of the drill bit can cause materials to jump free. clamp down all materials securely. To start a hole, use a center punch. This will keep the drill bit from slipping. Drill on regular, flat surfaces. Don't forget the hazards of the chainsaw. Just listen to the sound. This tool has the potential to cause a lot of damage. Always use two hands. Wear heavy boots and clothing. And you've heard it before, wear your personal protective equipment. Your materials can also cause problems. For instance, when using a saw, be cautious with warped or wet wood. Watch out for knots that could misdirect the saw blade, and be sure to remove any nails before cutting. Be careful when working metal. Cuts often produce razor-sharp edges. Don't ever put a power tool down until it has stopped moving. As long as they're running, they can still cause plenty of damage. Keep your clothing, jewelry, even your hair out of the reach of power tools. These things can get caught and cause big trouble. Whatever you do, never tamper with tool guards. They are there to protect you. Hand and power tools can be dangerous. Using them requires a lot of responsibility. Remember to plan ahead, anticipate the hazards you're about to face, and take the necessary precautions. Choose the right tool for the job. Become familiar with the tools you work with. Keep tools in good shape. Always wear the appropriate personal protective equipment. Never rush. And remember to keep track of what's going on around you. Don't be so focused on a job that you forget about everything else, like working safely.